I just wanted to share some visions with you and, let you know what I'm thinking and the kind of ideas I have. Maybe I can stir up some interest. I know it's going to be hard to sit there and watch this because I'm not really on the TV and you're sitting there, you're comfortable. You should be comfortable. Maybe you're not comfortable. Maybe you're uncomfortable. Maybe you're thinking you're with the wrong person. And you're sitting there saying, God, I'm with the wrong person. And but they're sitting there saying, I'm not allowing myself to be with the right person. And there you are. You're thinking differently. They're thinking sort of in a positive way. You're thinking in a negative way. So you are with the wrong person. But see, it's just that these visions I have, this is an environmental operetta. It's an environmental operetta. It's an operetta about the environment. We've got an abandoned warehouse here. It's got a big loading dock and there's a big roof. You can see the big roof coming over there. And so the people in it, they're up under the roof and they've got they're working. They got workstations and they're working. And then over in the field, there's a vacant lot right over there where all that honeysuckle is. That's where nature is. So you got industry and nature. So it's industry and nature, and it's a balancing act of industry and nature. And out here in the open area on this this exercise yard area, that's where the people, the audience will be. There'll be bleachers. There'll be bleachers set up, and we'll get those from the city. They'll bring them in, and we'll have to close the street off because of traffic. You can't have a lot of traffic going back and forth during an environmental operetta because it'd be too noisy. So they'll block the street off, and then they're singing. The music is all the words, the lyrics are in a made-up language. It's a fabricated language. It's like singing in tongues. So you have to get about 20 people because there'll be at least 20 or 30 workers, and you have to get these people to sort of sing in tongues. And then because I don't want to point fingers at France or Germany or even America that it's our fault. It's everybody's responsibility. So this environmental opera will be sung in a made-up language, and we'll slide project. There'll be a big sign, like a safety sign in a factory, except it'll be blank, and we'll slide project the translation. So that's how people will know what the songs are about. I want to work at these. I want to work and get these things going. That's what I want to do. I want to get them going, but and I know it's hard for you to understand. You think, wait a minute, what are these things this guy's talking about? There's no way that anybody's going to do these. There's no work really hard on. It's a parking lot, and it's rarely used. The upper 4 levels, I've scoped this out. That car is usually not here, and it's virtually empty. So what we'd have is a parking art theater. It'd be the first drive-through art gallery, a parking art theater. And what we do is we get a bunch of people to build exhibits throughout this parking lot, and they'd have exhibits all throughout, and we'd have a toll booth. When you pull in, there'd be a toll. We'd make it out of tires, and you'd get a bunch of tires and stack them up. And when you pulled in, you'd get lug nuts. We'd paint them gold. You'd have gold lug nuts that would be tokens, and you'd take those with you, and you'd drive through this thing. And also, when you're there, you'd get an audio cassette, and the cassette would have soundtracks to all the exhibits. So when you drive through, you've got the cassette going, and that's the sound effects to the different exhibits, and you'd give one of the actors. We'd have actors throughout the whole course that would also interact with the people driving through, and you'd give them a token, and they'd give you a pass to the 3D drive-in movie. You'd have a drive-in movie out there, and it'd be the attack of the killer possums, and we'd build cutouts of possums that look like they're up there on a big movie screen. So you'd drive through that, and then you'd have a drive-through art museum, and it'd be Palette, and you'd order paintings that you could see, and they'd slide project that for you, and when you order it, and and then people would drive through, and then when they get finished, they would you'd have a poster that you'd put down on some paint, and their tire would run across it, and that would leave an imprint of their tire. So that'd be their souvenir from Parking Art Theater. So it can be done. Well, I think there is. And that's my job. My job is to get these things going. And I know it's hard for you to relate to it. It's hard for you to relate. It's like, why would anybody want to do that? And well, see, I don't know why. See, that's the problem. See, I guess it's like an illness. And that's why I need money. I don't need. This is another vision. This wasn't a real clear vision, but it was cloudy at first, and it came in. So they have in this particular town, I don't want to say what town because that'll localize the tape, and then you'll think, oh, this is just some hick from the South that's doing all this stuff. Well, okay, it's in the South, but they have a sister city program, so it's in Italy. It's in Italy as a sister city. So they've fashioned this plaza after an area in Italy, and so I had the idea. I thought this would be a good idea. It's New Year's Eve. See, it'll be midnight in Italy, and it'll be 6 o'clock here. So why don't we bring the New Year in? We'll bring the New Year in. We'll celebrate the New Year with our sister city. And so the city I knew here, this city would say, yeah, we need to generate some interest. So why don't we do that? And so that would be the idea. That's the vision, is that we would celebrate the New Year's with our sister city. So since it's Italy and we don't have a big ball like in Times Square, what I'd do is I'd have a meatball that would fall into a giant plate of spaghetti. That would be symbolic of Italy, and we'd get everybody to count down. To bring in, they count down in Italian. We'd teach them Italian. We'd have to pass out flyers and teach them Italian. And then the ball would light up, and it would fall, gradually drop down into the plate of spaghetti. And that's why I need money. I don't need money for the visions. I need money for my illness, because I keep thinking of these visions, keep having them. And it's... See, what happens if I do these visions, and I mean, there's great camaraderie, and you get a lot out of it, and compliments, and there's artistic fellowship, because you work with all these people, and you end up with this interaction, and you also end up with a credit card that's maxed out. It's maxed out. And that's tough. Credit card that's maxed out. I mean, that's what you get. You get a letter. The letter says you've exceeded your limit. Exceeded your limit, and that's, man, you've reached your limit. I've reached my limit. Not only have I reached, I've exceeded my limit. I mean, how many people? This is a vision I had, because I noticed that this was an office building this used to be a department store. In fact, it used to be a J.C. Penney's, and this construction firm took it over, and so there's all these display windows that they're not using. So I thought, well, I could get in there and have sort of a public installation piece, a live sculpture. And what I was thinking is, I'd be sitting, I'd do it just at lunchtime for maybe an hour and a half, every day for about a week, and then I'd change it, and it'd be a series of maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And the first one I was thinking about is that I'd be in a rowing machine, and but I'd be covered up. I'd have a hood over my head, or like a beekeeper's hat or something like that, and where you couldn't see my face, and I'd have a tie on, and I'd be rowing in this machine, and all this computer paper, it'd be all over the floor. It'd be all piled up, and there'd be these red hands trying to grab me as I pulled out, and they'd pull me back, and I'd pull out, and they'd pull me back, and there'd be a big stick, like a carrot, hanging off that I'm trying to get. But instead of a carrot, it'd be something like a credit card, or maybe a greeting card that would say, congratulations on your success, or something like that. And that's what I'd be. And I'd have a phone. I'd answer the phone every now and then. And that'd be one series, and then I'd change it for the next week, and the next one I'd do maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and just and I'd may have somebody standing out here that would write down whatever comments people were saying, like, man, that's weird, or whatever. Now you're going to see some of these. You're going to hear these visions. I'm going to take you to the places where I think they should happen. You're going to say, well, can you make a living doing this? Can you make a living creating these visions? And well, no, of course not. Of course you can't make a living creating. It's everybody's responsibility. So this environmental opera will be sung in a made-up language, get out of tires, and you'd get a bunch of tires and stack them up. You'd get everybody to count down. you know, to bring in, they count down in Italian. We'd be these red hands trying to grab me as I pulled out, and they'd pull me back, and I'd pull out, and they'd pull me back. And it's impossible, or it's improbable. I'm improbable. It's improbable. I mean, because I think maybe there's a way to do it. I mean, if you can get, you have to get the people, you have to get a certain number of people behind you, and you have to have the money. See, I mean, you got to have real money. You've got to have real, not. See, because see, I've got these other things. I got this. See, this isn't the real money. This is, see, these are pre-approved. This is pre-approved money. It's pre-approved credit cards, and I mean, I'm approved. Someone is approving of me. They've accepted me. In fact, they've pre-approved me. They don't even know me. And here it is. This is something from nature, and it's a balancing act of industry and nature. It's impossible, or it's improbable. I'm in money. You've got to have real, not. See, because I'm approved. Someone is approving of me. They've accepted me. In fact, they've pre-approved me. This is for $2,500, and this is from Columbus, Ohio. They're going to give me $2,500. $2,500. So when you drive through, you've got the cassette going, and that's the sound effects to the different exhibits, and they don't even know me, and they Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, look at this, pre-approved for $2,500 from Columbus, Ohio. Thank you, Columbus, Ohio. There's all these display windows that they're not using, so I thought, well, I could get in there and Wooddale, Illinois, they gave me a whole book of checks, a whole book of them right there. Look at this, whole book of checks from Wooddale for $2,100. Thank you, Wooddale. I didn't even know there was a Wooddale, Illinois. Here tonight in Italy, and it'll be 6 o'clock here. Lucifer. There you go. That's from Irvine, California. They got a lot in California. Here's another $5,000. $5,000. Bless you over there in Irvine. Oh, here we. They're up under the roof, and they've got. They're working. They got workstations, and another $2,000. This is the Signet Bank up in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, that's all the way up in Richmond, Virginia. Here's another one. One of the actors. We'd have actors throughout the whole course that would also. Here's another one that's urgent. Here we go, right here. This is urgent. This is unbelievable. See, these people have no idea. They don't even know me, and they're sending me money. Bless you, Beelzebub. That's what they're doing, see? They have no idea what I'm going to do with this. They think I'm going to buy a boat or go on a vacation. They don't realize that I'm going to create visions. And when you create a vision, you take the money and you can't pay it back. And so they're going to be mad, see? It's like an illness. And that's why I need money. I don't need money for the visions. I need money for my illness. I mean, doing this? Can you make a living creating these visions? And well, no. Of course not. You know, it's not real money. This isn't real money. There's nothing that this is Satan's money. This is evil. This is evilness. This is the devil's cash flow. That's what this is. This is the devil's cash flow. And I would be doing artistic endeavors. I would have to put little mentions on everything I do, saying sponsored by National Endowment for the Arts and by the John and Catherine D. MacArthur Foundation and by Beelzebub. That's what I have to, because this is not real money. Environmental opera will be sung in a made-up language, and this would be it's a parking lot. We'll celebrate the New Year with our sister city, and so the city I knew here, this city would with something like a credit card or maybe a greeting card. See, that's the problem. See, I guess it's like an illness, and that's why I need money. I need real money. See, to get these visions. I mean, I could use this, but where would I be? Where would I be? Tape. I'm on tape. It's like. So I just wanted to share some visions with you, and just get some feedback at some point. That's what I wanted to do. To share some visions, and
This weekend is your last chance to see the world premiere of an original musical play right here in Greenville. Forest for the Tree is the latest Jeff Summerall production. It's staged outside by the old trolley barn on Broad Street. And John Culbertson has this review from the front row seat.
First First of all, let me start off by saying you won't see anything like this anywhere else in town or the state, probably the country, and I'm thinking about ruling out other planets. Forest for the Tree is an environmental operetta with all words spoken in a foreign tongue, not just foreign to you, foreign to anybody. There are subtitles on a screen over the stage, and your eyes are occasionally drawn to a field nearby where various large birds and fish frolic around. If you're thinking this sounds like something you would really hate, that's the way I felt going in too. But I didn't hate it. As a matter of fact, I kind of liked it, and I really don't know why. Perhaps it was the original music, which was very well done. Another reason I like this thing is that I didn't know what was going to happen at the end. And without telling you what does happen, let's just say it puts the title into perspective. It's mercifully short, less than an hour. It's the kind of thing that could get old quick, but it's not allowed to. If you're open to experimentation, go see it. If you're not, don't even think about it. I'm John Culbertson with a view from the front row seat.
Less than an hour, that's really something.
Yeah, an environmental operetta is how it's being built. And everybody that I have talked to who's gone to see it, and I admit I haven't had a chance to see it just yet, has come away very, very well surprised at how good it's been.
And now we're going to start the countdown, ladies and gentlemen. And that starts with D-A-G, Nove, Otto, Sette, Sei, Cinque, Quattro, Tre, Due,
A group of Greenville artists and art students have taken over the parking garage at the Shelter Center and have come up with, well, it's hard to tell. Whatever it is, Carmiello visited it tonight.
It's called Parking Art Theater, and it's safe to say Greenville has never seen anything like it. Parking Art Theater is culture of sorts, enjoyed from the comfort of your car. You drive through the Shelter Center parking garage and encounter strange people and strange things. An audio cassette acts as your guide and provides sound effects.
On the tape are directions for you to follow throughout the course.
This is Parking Art Theater.
But is it art? Among the stops on this tour through the artistic Twilight Zone are a 3D movie theater. I don't think these things work. And a drive through what is supposed to be the part in Ronald Reagan's hair. You heard me right.
order, please?
I'll take one cubism steak sandwich.
Right, that's a
You also visit a fast food art museum featuring a wide-ranging menu of the classics. And it all ends when you make an imprint of your tire tread, a souvenir of your visit to Parking Art Theater. In Greenville, Carm Aiello, News Center 4 Update.
With me, or even empathize with me, because you think, well, this guy's kidding. He's got another job. He's doing something. I'm not. And that's why, see, I need help. It's a sickness. There needs to be an AA. There needs to be an artist anonymous. It's like an A. You start to get this vision again, and man, just hang on. Remember the monthly payments. Remember the 21% interest. Remember no one showing up. Remember the self-indulgence. Remember the embarrassment. Don't do it. And then you can pull back. You start go through the withdrawals a little bit, and there needs to be an AA to get people through this. But just wanted to share some visions with you. And just get some feedback at some point.